My boss bought me with jewels to keep her dark secret. Part 2. The days following that kiss were a whirlwind. One minute I was a nobody, an assistant drowning in paperwork, and the next I was caught in a web of desire and deceit with my impossibly elegant boss. And it all started because of a kiss. Cassandra and I met in the hallway, a stolen moment before our office came alive for the day. We were both dressed in navy suits, but hers was cut from a different cloth. It had power written all over it. She looked up at me, her eyes searching. "Riley," she began, her voice husky, "last night." "I know what you're thinking," I interrupted, because I knew exactly what she was thinking. I replayed that kiss over and over in my mind, memorizing the feel of her lips, the scent of her skin, the way she tasted. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "No, you're not." I couldn't stop smiling. I was sorry too. Sorry for giving into the kiss. Sorry for wanting more. Sorry for the mess I was about to step into. Because since that kiss, Cassandra had become a ticking time bomb of emotions, her body language a minefield of longing and fear. The easy smiles and breezy banter of our former relationship were gone, replaced by a charged silence that crackled between us like static. She tried to push me away, putting distance between us with every meeting, every interaction. But the more she pulled away, the more entangled I became. I wanted to unravel the threads of her sadness, to understand the darkness lurking behind her dazzling smile. But it wasn't just me she was hiding from. Everyone in the office seemed to sense the shift between us, their whispers following me like shadows. Was it the way we looked at each other? The electric connection that sparked whenever our eyes met? Or was it the carefully constructed walls we'd both built around ourselves? One rainy Friday afternoon, the tension between Cassandra and me finally snapped. I was working late, fueled by coffee and the memory of her kiss. As the city outside turned gray and gloomy, I pored over numbers, trying to shut out the echo of her laughter from earlier that day. Then my phone vibrated, startling me. It was Cassandra. "Riley, can you come to my office?" she asked. Her voice was tight, strained. "Sure," I replied, surprised by the tremor in my own voice. How could I have been so blind? Cassandra needed me, not just for the company, not just for the files. She needed me because she couldn't let go of the past. When I reached her office, her door was slightly ajar. I knocked lightly, and she immediately beckoned me inside. The room was dimly lit, the blinds drawn against the relentless rain. But it wasn't the darkness of the room that struck me. It was the darkness in her eyes. She looked up as I entered, and for a moment, the strong, confident woman I knew vanished. In her place stood a scared, lost girl. "Cassandra," I whispered, my heart aching for her. Before I knew it, I was crossing the room, my hand reaching out to cup her face. Her skin was cold, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I'm sorry," she whispered again, the words catching in her throat. This time, it wasn't just her lips that were trembling. My whole body shook with emotion. "What are you sorry for?" I asked, my voice breaking. "Everything," she cried, "all of it." And then she did something that shocked me. She threw her arms around me, burying her face in my shoulder. For a moment, I froze, unsure how to react. But when I felt her trembling, I held her tighter. I stroked her hair, whispering words of comfort that I hoped would reach the brokenness inside her. As the storm raged outside, we clung to each other, two souls seeking solace in the midst of a perfect storm of desire and despair. Eventually, she pulled away, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. "I didn't mean to lose control like that," she said, her voice hoarse. "Don't apologize," I whispered. "I wish I could take away your pain." She looked at me then, her eyes searching mine. "Can you?" she asked, so softly I almost didn't hear her. "What? Can you make it better?" "The kiss last night, us." I hesitated, torn between the desire to hold on to that moment forever and the knowledge that it would solve her problems. I knew that loving Cassandra would be a gamble with the odds stacked against us. But what choice did I have? My heart, it seemed, had already been dealt. "I think," I said, my voice shaking, "I might love you." The relief that washed over her features was palpable. She reached out, tracing the curve of my jawline with her thumb. "I love you too," she whispered. That night, we gave into our feelings, the rain a steady drumbeat against the window pane as we explored the depths of our desires. It was a love that bloomed in the shadows, nurtured by stolen moments and hidden desires. But with the passion came a heavy dose of reality. Cassandra's world was filled with secrets, danger, and betrayals, and I was hurtling toward the center of it. The weeks that followed were a delicate dance. During the day, we were professional partners, navigating the high-stakes world of business deals and board meetings. By night, we were lovers, seeking refuge in each other's arms, creating a safe haven in the midst of the chaos. I was head over heels in love, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were living on borrowed time. Cassandra's dark circles under her eyes grew deeper, and the weight of her lies pressed down on her shoulders. It was a constant battle between keeping up the charade and letting the truth shine through. Then one evening, as we sat in her office after everyone had gone home, she broke down. "I can't keep living like this, Riley," she whispered, her voice raw with emotion. "Me neither," I replied, reaching for her hand. But she pulled away. "I need you to do something for me," she said, standing abruptly. "What?" I asked, rising to my feet. She walked to her desk, picking up that folder from where we first shared our kiss. "Get rid of this," she said, handing it to me. "Destroy it." My heart sank. The folder contained the photos, the ones she thought could destroy her. But why? Hadn't she wanted to expose them? "Are you sure?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Yes," she said, her gaze unwavering. "Please, Riley, do this for me." There was no trace of the playful, charming woman I loved in this steely-eyed CEO. She looked at me one last time. "Please," and I knew better than to ask questions. As I made my way through the city, the weight of Cassandra's request pressed down on me. Destroying the photos meant erasing the truth, burying it deep under layers of lies. But what if exposing the politician would bring down the entire company? What if it was just a matter of time before everything came crashing down anyway? When I returned to the office, Cassandra was waiting for me. Her eyes were red-eyed, her face pale. "Did you do it?" she asked, her voice hoarse. "Yes," I replied, my heart heavy with the burden of our secret. She nodded slowly, then crumpled to the floor as if drained of all strength. "Cassandra," I cried, rushing to her side. "I'm sorry," she whispered, looking up at me. "I never meant to drag you into this." "Don't apologize," I said, kneeling beside her. "I love you." She managed a weak smile. "I know," she whispered back, "and I love you too." But I could tell that despite her words, her love was laced with guilt and a deep, abiding sadness. In the end, Cassandra was right. We were living on borrowed time. Our love story, a forbidden romance set against the backdrop of corporate intrigue, deception, and buried secrets, ended tragically. But as the pieces fell apart, I knew one thing. I loved her fiercely, even if loving Cassandra Marlowe meant dancing on the edge of a knife, knowing that every twist could be our last. The story ends here, but the journey continues on a new path. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, check out this playlist for similar stories. Thanks for watching.